They are them that keep the commandments, cause them have the right to the tree of life and can go through the gate into the city. Cause without, them a dog.
Thy kingdom come is told meg, so obey the Mosaic, nigga, that's grave. Like the captivity when holy Moses stole the locust, scoliosis, get back crazy. Christ the living water, free to wave, will behave. I need a slave, Mr. Passways. He just laughed and said, nigga, it ain't over till then seen a higher choir full of fat ladies. Hamashiach birth was perfect, he don't act shady. Spirit dope from the womb like a crack baby. We Christ followers, let America meet the black Navy. And watch his privileged Christian cracker like black slaves. Israelites, bitch, we humongous. Wise Q and Q the cucumber. I prep twice, my mind 2 bunkers. Voice of choice to the newcomers. My Micah Myers, I need blue jumpers. 300 kosher soldiers, Leonidas. Awards ready, Gideon Titus. No being nice, a knife to Dionysus. My law heathens, I quit being biased. The key to tree of life is being pious.
You loudmouth bitches barking at the dog whisperer. You will catch these paws in the name of the living word. I don't pump fake, I'm a pivot around this perimeter. They bite the jab step, whole time I'm checking your temperature. I can minister this literature in a verse into integers. All the babes in the truth weaned off the milk, get a quench of thirst. We are holy people, that's set apart like a room full of introverts. I guarantee you have never heard that up in your church. You see this woolly hair, plus my feet the color of brass. I'm just here to prophesy, my foot going up your ass. I'm smirk, while others chuckle, I'm glad I can make you laugh. Come on and sign it there, bro, all I need is your autograph. I got a stick in my hand like I'm ready to play fetch. You brag about your hands, but there's nothing you can't catch. I'm a landlord, no dogs around this complex. Been stepping on shit, can't keep my feet off next.
Yeah, man, tell them boy I said, yo, you know hear me chain? Yo, hold my glasses, let me talk to them boy, yo. Yo, you see in the kingdom, you know see my mansion right there, sir. You know see my car, yeah man, you know see it, you know? Yo, Christian Corey, now look on them now. Them outside of the gate and them can't come in. We eat everlasting fruit. No more pain, no more hunger. Just riches and wealth and good life and living. But because you don't keep the commandments of the Most High, you're outside of the gate now and you can't come in here.
Deacon. Only 12 tribes in the kingdom, the dogs are outside, weeping and gnashing the teeth. You hear the outcries, to get there you gotta be humble and denounce pride. They in awe when them chariots come. You see the mouth wide, shout out to the northern kingdom. But I'm from Southside, we outside doing the work. You on the couch fried, the greasiest. The flow was easiest, swatting house flies. The big shark that outgrew his tank, you niggas drought size. Edomites faking the truth, but they about lies. Niggas don't pop it, they gossiping like some housewives. They call it Sakari for a reason. We throwing out knives, y'all lukewarm newborns. I like devout guys, you think you confident in the spirit until the doubt rise. Famine of the word, you won't hear it until the drought dies. I was in the streets like a Muslim, handing out pies. The big cat comes in the room and watch the mouse hide.
Hey, Deacon, use your inside voice. You ain't outside. Out lies the white man by the gate and he listening. Stop your voice of many waters, go switch to your pitches thin. You embarrassing our fathers, be proper when you sit with men. And cross your legs, straighten up your posture and lift your chin. Be master's pattern model when the Oscar shit bitch pretend. Man, why the hell I'm pushing Stockholm? Now that Abraham Stockholm, Jerome. I'm by Yahweh, fuck a goof troop. Yahweh shy, pluck a tooth loose. He that lead of luck, a new sloop. Syro-Phoenician, fuck us, deuce, deuce. Carbon fifth, chuck a few loose. Duck, duck, yep, a goose loose. Brain splatter, call a couscous. Then danced on it, bust a duke deuce. Recruiting fruit, yep, a poop coop. Body of Christ, looking Bruce Bruce. Big dog, knuckle, cop pulling until they click and load them. She no swift as eagles aboard the seat out her nigga scrotum. Put the stick in the V flying until they Jimmy Croton. Robbing Jews and Jews of Judas, can't send a chicken on them. But with Christ, bird's eye view, precision vision, show them fire bombing shit out the sky. Got them, we semicolon. I hawk them down, walk them down, convict the sentence on them. Then take them through it, make them do it, pigeonhole them. We did them foul, but fair. We read the holy prophets in context and we parroted verbatim. Esau's church that's out here wicked it. Culture vultures. Christian.
So here one now. All I'm to them boy, man. They not even know if them serve God the right way. They live a righteous and positive life. There are bare things the most I have for them. Yo, a long time I watching Corey. A bare things you go on with the most I respect, you know. A man of intelligence and excellence, you know. One man who read the Bible and live it, and instead of just talk the talk, yeah, walk the walk, Corey.
The cipher.
Shalom, Israel. This is Soldier James. Today's verse of the day is coming off the top of the head. You know, it's been on my spirit. It's coming from Ecclesiastes 7:29. And it says, "For lo, this only have I found, that the Most High God has made man upright, but they have sought out inventions." So basically what that's saying is, you know, God made us all perfect. He did make us upright. He made us all able to follow his laws, statutes, and commandments. But since we were young, we sought out inventions that we didn't have no clue about, and they corrupted us. Come out of those inventions, Israel. Shalom.
AHOS.
Thomas Officer Karatazar with Anointed House of Saints coming at you with the verse of the day. And the verse of the day is the book of Hosea chapter 13 and verse 4. And it reads, "Yet I am the Lord thy God from the land of Egypt, and thou shalt know no God but me, for there is no Savior besides me." Our people involved with these elections, trying to figure out who they're going to vote for, Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, not realizing that the only person that's really going to be able to save us out of our situation is the Most High God. He's giving you the instructions in the scriptures on how to serve him so that he can save you from a situation. But we don't want to take that route. We want to follow behind these people of the world and vote in these elections. That's not how this thing works. The only way we'll be saved out of our situation is by praying to the Most High God and following his laws, statutes, and commandments. Our people need to wake up. With that, I say shalom.
AHOS.
Shalom, shalom, Israel. It's your brother Zebulon from Anointed House of Saints, bringing you the verse of the day. So I'm going to take you to Jeremiah 6:16, and it reads, "Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways, and seek, and ask for the old paths, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein." Okay, let's not get caught out there not walking therein. Let's pray for the old paths. Let's strive to walk in the good way and walk therein, because it is rest for our souls. So I want to leave you with that, Israel. Shalom.
AHOS.
Brother Jonathan got bars, man. He got bars. But he always making slow music, man. Wanna pray to his music and meditate. He can't get hype, man. Sometimes I wanna get hype for the Lord. Come on, man.
Blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post. Blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, keeping them close. Man, we got Frenches and seats on the clothes. Me and my brothers ain't sleeping, we reading the secrets. The deepest you been is the ocean. Now we been swimming in waters that's deeper than rivers to Jordan. We creeping up on them. It's the 14th of the month. Bone Thugs one day late for the show. Oh. Ain't never been out, ever since Red Pen Pals. You too late, you let them in now. We like veterans, niggas that's power. These secrets only come through steady, no regrets. We walk through water like Jesus. We raising the dead, you see this. Look at this evening pose. Blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post. Blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post.
We hold in post, chopping the doctors, they ain't coming close. They had the strike like I'm Wonder Franco. We're Rochelle toast, wisdom is better than silver and gold. This water is knocking down wicked Pharaoh. Can't swim through the sea, man, that fan was too slow. Pharaoh was sober-minded, think he can and go. Escape on a starry night, it's Van Gogh. Living good unchained like Quincy Django. Strippers down in the hood, now they wanna tango. Death angels coming close, so watch your back, bro. Watch your back, bro. We grilling that lamb, we gon' eat that. That better bit of herb, we gon' eat that. Doing this till you how I come and see that. We that. Oh.
Blood on the post. Blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post.
The Pesach and Nissan. We found faith in Misraim. We got to be strong. Walking through water, pray we don't sing. Strapped up, boots tight. Walking up right, boy, we don't lean. 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 Walking up right, we see that.
Blood on the post. Blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post.
Shalom, 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 everybody. I want to welcome everyone back to another Milk Mondays. Another Milk Mondays with yours truly, Officer Knock. And as always, I have with me
Captain Ayar, the aristocrat. Shalom.
Khan, shalom, shalom. I want to thank everyone for being here. But before we get started, as always, we want to first give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Excuse me. I want to thank everyone always for being diligent on these Milk Mondays because, this is important, getting the milk for those who are coming into this truth. So Captain has has an interesting class coming up this evening. But before we go to there, I want to give a few announcements before we get started with that. First, I want to ask any brothers who are wanting to do the work to put your brick in with the Anointed House of Saints. You can do so by sending us an email at anointedhos@gmail.com. That's anointedhos@gmail.com. In the subject line, make sure you put prospect phase so that we know that you're interested in becoming part of the prospect phase when we start our next session for that. Also, let me go ahead and pull this up real quick because we do have a calendar of events coming, all through the year. Let me find this calendar real quick. I thought it was on here. I don't see. There we go. Let's pull this up real quick because we got to follow this calendar. These are feast days and our new moons, right? So check this out. This next new moon, we are having new moon at the school, at our Anointed House of Saints School, which is located in Greensboro, North Carolina. If anyone wants to attend the new moon, this will be taking place, as you can see, on the month of November, the 8th month, on the 1st. All right, that'll be November 1st will be the new moon. We will be gathering, and some of our brothers and sisters will be gathering in North Carolina and Greensboro. If you want to attend, you can, at the school, just email us. That's anointedhos@gmail.com to RSVP, all right, for that new moon. Also, let's see what else. Our Sabbath morning brew class coming up on the next Shabbat will be taking place and being held by Captain Aharon in North Carolina, in Greensboro, at the Anointed House of Saints School. All right. It says we'll be starting as we usually start at 11 a.m. But after the service or after the class, we'll be conducting community service in the North Carolina, Greensboro area. Anyone want to come and attend? Anyone want to bring donations? Please do so. You can send your donations to hashtag or $8HOS school, AHOS school. That's $8HOS school. That would be to help us brothers fund for this community service event that will be taking place this Shabbat in North Carolina, in Greensboro, North Carolina, after Sabbath morning brew class. Also, we will be having our dedication, a feast of dedication, also at the school in Greensboro. This will be taking place December 26th. There'll be $50 for alms for RSVP. Please send us an email and send the alms to the school. That would be at $AHOS school. That's $AHOS school. And those are some of the events coming up as you see on the calendar. So all praises for that. Let's see what else. I would do shout outs, but we want to go ahead and get class started. But I will remind everyone that here at Anointed House of Saints, we are a Hebrew Israelite school. And because of that, we ask and we hope that you know to come prepared, right? So that means you got to have your Bible, right? Got to have your Bible, got to have your markers and pens, right? Have your notebook, and be ready to write down anything that's important in these lessons, precepts, points of interest, so that we can go back and study this with your family, to go back over and study with your family, right? Because that's what we're supposed to be doing, teaching our neighbors, teaching our brothers and sisters to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. So without further ado, Captain, unless you have some announcements that you can think of, it's all yours.
All right. Can everybody hear me?
I can hear you, Con.
Okay, thank you. All right. So, all praises to the Most High. Yahweh Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shai. I got a smile on my face because we've been called idolaters. And I know this ain't what the class is about, but it's how I'm going to start today, right? Class was supposed to be about the community. And since the class is about the community, why not talk about some things going on in the community right now, right? So, I mean, if y'all want, it's up to y'all. I don't care. But somebody asked something in the chat. But yeah, but y'all hit the like button when y'all come in the building, Baba Kashai, share the video, like the video, all that type of stuff, right? Haven't asked y'all to do that in a long time, but for this one, I don't mind, right? I want to start by saying I don't want any debates. I'm not going to take any debates. Reason why? We've already had debates on this topic. And the result of such was brothers walking out of the debate. And we weren't brothers. So the topic gets brought up sporadically here and there, right? About the Sabbath and which one we're supposed to follow, the lunar Sabbath or the other one, right? And this time, the Genesis, right? Deacon and Asad, they came out, basically called brothers idolaters that keep this day. So today, real quick, at least for the first 15 minutes or so, I do want to speak on how we're not idolaters. And with Lord have mercy. Hold on a second. Nah, please say something, bro.
Con. Well, hey, actually, we got a little time. I know I usually like to get shout outs because I'm eager to hear this class, to follow it with this class. But let me go ahead and get some shout outs to those who are always diligent in making it to these classes throughout the week. As always, I want to give a big shout out to Joan Gilchrist. Shalom to you, sis. Also to our sister Malka Yapa, House of Yahweh. Shalom to you, sis. Shalom. Hey, giving a big shout out, hearty shout out. You know what I'm saying? One of those type of shout outs where you say, you know, I got to keep it funky, right? Give a big old shout out to Officer Kasadi. Shalom to you, brother. Shalom. Shalom to Sister Jayla Turner. Shalom to Sister Josephina. Hey, your Sister Josephina did a wonderful job during Tabernacles. Hey, love you, sis. Appreciate everything that you did for us. All praise to the Most High. Also, give a big shout out to Captain Shaquat out in the Bay. Big shout out to First Officer Kadar Aharon in Texas. Shalom to you, brother. Shalom to the lovely sister Abaya the Humble. Shalom. Shalom to the mighty Captain Aharon. Shalom to the mighty Captain Judah. Shalom to the mighty soldier Nadiyab. Want to give a shalom to Sister Laura Harris. Let's see who we got. Oh, hey, the mighty soldier Uriah. Shalom to you, brother. the lovely Sister Dawn, that mighty Duke, Count, First Salakia, Officer Boaz Ben Yasharallah, Shalom to you, brother. Shalom to Akia James, or Salakia if I mispronounced that. Shalom to World Without End, as always. Shalom to Magan Israel. Shalom to you, brother. Shalom to Sister Gabriella. Shalom, and I think that's about it. So it looks like Cap is back. I'm going to go ahead and turn it back on over to you, Cap.
All right, Salakia, before I was rudely interrupted. But yeah, so today we're going to talk about the whole thing on the community. If you guys saw what was being talked about on my Facebook last week, you know, all the people that was reposting me and mad at me and stuff from outside the community. That's the main reason we have in this class. But within the last 5 days or whatever, in the community, we have brothers call everybody that keeps the Saturday Sabbath an idolater, right? So I quickly want to touch on that and disprove some things if we can, or at least cause for speculation. Because a lot of y'all don't know, right? There was a summit back in 2019, right? 2019, 2020, something like that. It might have been 2020 in Fort Lauderdale. We had a closed door event. All of the leaders of all the camps that came to the summit. We pulled up, right? And we had a talk to try to see if we could get everybody on one accord. The reason it never came out is because a certain camp walked out in the middle of the debate, right? It was a debate between me and Joel, you know, formerly the Sons of Thunder, right? And Hassad and Gorilla Hebrew of Sakari, formerly. And another brother, two other brothers from another camp that were representing Amos, Israel, and them, that were representing the Lunar Sabbath. And we had Priest Yakanan and them in there because they were representing, or they were shooting to get us to keep the first light moon instead of the dark moon, right? So I bring that up to say a couple things. There's an argument that was made by Hassad and Deacon in this video that says we can't have the same calendar as the heathen, yet we all keep the same new moon as the heathen. They keep the dark moon. We keep the dark moon, right? Which is the main reason why the elders were trying to get us we're trying to get us to go to the first light, but we can't see first light in the scriptures, a lot of us, right? But it was just to be different than heathen. But we have that. The heathen have our seal, right? That's talked about in 2nd Ezra chapter 10. Right. The so-called Star of David, right? Where we took that back. The heathen have our land, Israel, right? We're going to take that back as well. So I don't see why, just because the white man took over, the earth was given to the hand of the wicked, that brothers have this notion to pick and choose what it is that was taken and actually changed as opposed to what was adopted by the white man, right? Because proof, history, archaeology shows us that, and what I'm going to show you guys today, right? Like, for example, they said the name Saturn, and we're going to play the video. So we're going to go point for point a little bit. They said the name Saturn puts you in Saturday worship, right? For the Saturday god Saturn, right? Of the Romans. What they didn't tell you was that we were still doing the Sabbath on that day. Flavius Joseph and Philo, who they both quoted, without putting the page numbers and stuff like that, we're going to prove to you, also said the Saturday Sabbath. And there's a reason why. There's a reason why they made Saturn the Saturday, right? So we're going to kind of get into all of that real quick. I'm going to let that video play. Right. And like I was saying at the beginning, this ain't for debate purposes. I don't want to debate because we already have one of those, right? And the elders know what the deal was. I don't do debates like that in public because I'm not out here for the vainglory. I'm just here to teach
have some
you,
extra time,
right? And to call a whole nation of people idolaters when the majority of us keep this feast and the scriptures tell us not to judge each other in Sabbath, right? Feast days, things like that. It's kind of messed up that you call brothers idolaters for such a thing, right? Especially when you didn't teach the full spectrum of the history. You taught it in a context that would make it sound like you were correct. So I'm going to teach, I guess if you want to call it, the context that we would teach, right? Or the full spectrum, as I would like to call it. So let's hear what they had to say, and we're going to go about point for point, about 15 minutes, and then we're going to get into the actual lesson for tonight. Y'all hit the like button. Baba Kasha.
Time to buy them groceries. All right, we're getting ready to prove it. For groceries, get ready for the Sabbath coming in. You might have some extra time to buy them groceries. All right, we're getting ready to prove it.
For those that prove. Yeah, all praises. So let's get right into it, y'all. No commercials, no nothing. So since we didn't get it, since we haven't gotten a chance to, we're gonna go. Yeah, we could.
I don't know if it's because I'm just a super asshole or something, but when I mock people, people don't like it. It's never funny. These guys always get away with it though for some reason. I'm just saying.
To stay to the side. Should we stay to the side or should we go down? Let me see how it looks. Let me see how it looks on the screen. Since we couldn't get a debate on this topic, we're still open to a debate on this topic.
The reason you couldn't get a debate on this topic, once again, is because all of the leaders of all the camps, Watchmen had a singular debate with you guys, right? Me and Joel had a singular debate with you guys in front of all the elders in the closed door thing. General Hashar was there. Priest Daniela was there. Big Bam from No Cap was there, right? Huh? It's a little of both. I don't understand what he's saying. But, oh, well, hey, shit. I'm just saying. It just seemed like they be getting away with it. You know what I mean? But like, so, but yeah, all the elders, all the big time dudes was there, right? We all was there. We all saw it. And they allowed me and Joel to put the argument up for the dark moon and the 7-day Sabbath. And we did that, right? One of the arguments that put the nail in the coffin, the good brother Jonathan actually reminded me of today on the phone. And that's probably going to put the nail in the coffin again. If what we prove as far as the historicity that they didn't really tell the truth about, doesn't put the nail in the coffin. So, yeah, y'all stay tuned.
We'll have,
because brothers say we just make Facebook posts and don't want to go point for point on that. I don't mind going point for point. I'm just saying there's no need to do another debate because there's plenty of brothers, including myself, that already did that. There's no need to do it again, right? It's just going to be the same points that get argued back and forth. You're going to have your way of thinking. I'm going to have my way of thinking. And we're going to be thinking the same way at the end. You're not going to convince me of nothing. I'm not going to convince you of nothing because this is the 5th time I've heard the argument. Y'all didn't change a damn thing. Except for this time, you don't have nobody to combat you and show everybody why you guys walked out the first time.
To do this presentation today. Let us offer the edification of the body. So all praise to the Most High. This is about 200 slides, a 200 slide presentation to prove that Saturday Sabbath originated or was created for idolatry, and it was given to the world and produced by the beast system, which is Satan and the devil. This was going to be proven through the spirit and power of the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahushai.
Shalom,
right?
everybody coming in.
I don't think y'all heard him. What we're getting ready to prove is that the Sabbath that a lot of us kept Friday night to Saturday night, not only is it incorrect, I need to make sure that y'all really are properly ascertaining and listening to this. Not only is it incorrect, but it is literally the Satan. It's Satan's calendar. I'm just gonna give it to you straight. It's Satan's calendar. Oh, what do you mean? Well, we're getting ready to prove it.
Oh,
I'm going to show you guys right after they prove it that Satan adopted this calendar. They're actually going to tell themselves too, because they tell you that Satan got it from Babylonians, right? When we look at the dates that I'm going to show you guys, our forefather, I guess, is Satan, Abraham, because he was born after this calendar was made. They have his date of when he was born because the calendar that they said was Satan was a calendar he was born under and that he used. It came from his people, the Chaldeans of Ur. I'm going to prove it. Wait.
All praises. All right, so let's start this, y'all. What calendar did the Israelites utilize before they were subjugated by the beast?
It'd be hypocrisy when brothers teach Esau didn't make nothing. Esau didn't make nothing. Esau steals everything. They're a vagabond upon the earth. They just go and steal and ravage and, you know, all that crap brothers be saying. And then they come and say everything's Esau in a video like this because they want to so bad get their point across. It's just hypocrisy in the sight of men.
East, which is the Roman Empire, and given their satanic calendar, which is still in use today. Question mark. Anybody know? Does anybody know? Definitely not the beast calendar. The Israelites did not even have their own physical universal calendar. The Most High prescribed, don't worry about the typos, prescribed.
If the Israelites didn't have their own physical universal calendar, how in the hell do we have names for months? And what were they for? Knock, are you off mute? Can you tell me that, please? Can you unmute and tell me what would be the reason for having names of months if there was never a calendar that the Israelites had?
Yeah.
Can anybody in the chat put that? Why would we have names of months that the Most High gave us through Moses in the Bible? We started a month with Abib. Why do we know the name Abib if we didn't have a calendar? We just counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 every time we saw the sun and every time we slept in 8. Right? And then when we see the moon go dark, we know it's a new month. Start over. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we did that, why do we have names of months? That's called a calendar. Okay. But we're going to prove it.
The celestial bodies of heaven for us to keep time. Today, we will prove
celestial bodies of heaven, the sun, moon, and stars, don't constitute for why we have names of months. Nobody said that we adopted the names of our months from the Babylonians or the Greeks or the Romans or the Persians or the Medes or the Moabites or the Ammonites or the Gergesites or the Parasites or anybodyites, right? Okay.
This with history, archaeology, and scripture that Saturday is not the day the Most High appointed to be his holy Sabbath. In fact, Saturday Sabbath was created to worship Saturn. It's idolatry. The calendar we use today is given to us by the beast in the book of Revelation and Daniel. It's flawed and its weekly cycle is interrupted. The calendar the Most High gave the Israelites is in accordance with the celestial bodies, and the new moon determines the Sabbath.
All right. So look, we're about to get into our first point. I want you guys to listen carefully, right? They've said that what we do is idolatry. He said that there was no calendar, which doesn't make sense because we have names of months that the Most High gave us. So the Most High only gave us the sun, moon, and stars, but he gave us names of months. I think that's to track the number of days in the months and stuff like that, and the times and the seasons to go with the celestial bodies, right? Help us keep track of such, which would mean we actually didn't get that from any other person or people. But I'm going to prove how that's the case in a minute, because brothers don't get into the history. They just be saying stuff sometimes to get their argument across. And when their platform is big enough, people don't challenge them on what it is or go point for point, right? So, yeah.
Is there any way you can zoom in?
Watch this. Knock. Can you give me Genesis chapter 1 and hold it? Read what this says, and then he's gonna read it. It says the month, weeks, and days, right? And seasons are all determined by the moon cycle. Now, knock.
Come.
The moon cycle, is it perfect?
As the cycle come.
The moon cycle is perfect. The moon cycle is not perfect. I probably put you on the spot there, so like, but the moon cycle is not perfect. Let me prove it. Hold on. Hold on. The way the moon works, for those of you that have never calculated the new moon before, when you look at the new moon, whether you think it's the dark moon or the full moon, there can be days where the moon stays dark. It can be dark for a day. It can be dark for more than one day, right? It can be dark for a day and a half. It can be dark for 2 days, right? And then it becomes the next phase in the cycle. It's not a perfect cycle month by month. Days are perfect. We have the same amount of hours in days, even when the white man tells us the time changed, right? Do we get any less hours in the day now? Or do we still get 24 hours in a day? They say time went back, but they didn't subtract the hour. They just went back one, right? We still got 24 hours in a day. So if that's the case, it can't be based off the moon cycle. Days have to be based off the sun. The sun is a perfect cycle. It goes up and it comes down, right? So it's not going to stay up for more than one day. It's not going to stay down for more than one day. The moon is not like that. Sometimes you can see the moon while the sun out. You ever seen the sun while the moon out? Not? Can't hear you. You've seen the sun out while the moon is out? Knock ain't even listening to me. He busy doing something else. I don't even think Knock.
Slack it, Cap. Yeah. Yeah, I have actually.
You seen the sun out while the moon is out?
I have actually.
I've
yes,
never seen that. Wow. No. I'm not talking about in the daytime. I'm talking about at night.
Oh, count. No, slack.
You've seen the sun out at night while the moon is out.
Lie.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay, because I said it the other way the first time. So we've all seen the sun out with the moon, right, in the daytime, but you've never seen them both out together at night. That's my point, right?
Right.
Because the sun is a perfect cycle. Okay. I'm gonna need participation tonight, but I need you to I need participation because it was 2 of them on the class. I need you to be my wingman and stuff tonight. You know what I mean?
I'm here, Cap. I got you.
No, I know. I don't need you to focus on the food. I need you to focus on what I'm saying because I need you to respond to shit.
No, I was just muted. That's all.
Okay. But yeah, so the what I'm damn looking for. Let me go back to this video. Just pay attention, bro. The days, he gonna say it.
Oh, let's zoom in.
Yeah, they probably look just a little bit. Just because I know there's gonna be people in the chat. I can't see.
Oh no, it's not gonna let me zoom.
If not, okay, it's not bad. So we should be all right.
Okay, turn your phone sideways. Blow up the screen. The months, the water for the super chat donation, greatly appreciate you. The months, weeks, days, and seasons are determined by the moon cycle. This is how we calculate our Sabbath and calendar according to the Bible.
And they're gonna tell us that we calculate our calendar because the white man told us to calculate it by the sun. But all of us could damn wake up and go to sleep and see that the sun is up in the daytime when the white man say it is, and the sun is down at night when the white man say it is. So does that mean the white man made that up, or did the white man adopt that, nigga? I'm about to show you something else real quick, right? Before Knock reads Genesis to prove that we had days before the moon, so it can't be based off the moon cycle. But hold on, wait a minute, because they're gonna bring this out next. That Saturn was, Saturn was Saturday, and Saturday is named after Saturn and all that type of stuff. Well, the Romans, right? The Romans, they named Saturn Saturn. The Greeks, who, if you're in the Anointed House of Saints, you've been doing history, right? You know that the Greeks involved the Israelites, right? You can't have the word Greek without Israelites being there, starting with the tribe of Dan. right? Yeah, they were into idolatry, but they weren't all like idolizing the whole time. The whole thing wasn't like far-fetched from the Bible. Even their like paganism that they created was based off biblical stories and stuff like that, which we proved, right? Hercules is literally Samson. It's the same story. He just has a different name. Kronos is Yahweh, right? Who's Kronos? You ever heard of Kronos before? You know, time. The creator of time. Huh? That is the chief titan of the Greeks, right? Before the Romans take over, you know, the Greeks had titans. We had Zeus. The Romans don't have Zeus. They have Jupiter. You see? The planets you have right now, those don't come from the Greeks. The names you have, those come from the Romans. If it was the Greek planets, it would have been, one of them would have been Cronus, the one they call Jupiter, the big one, right? But a lot of y'all don't even know what the hell Cronus is unless we're talking about a watch. The thing that the watch says in cursive, right? Nah, they got that from the maker of time, the Greek god, right? Who helped them create that concept? Us, the Israelites, right? Like, need we, hold on, just let me show this to you right quick before I do that. Let me not get ahead of myself. So look, Romans identified Saturn with the Greek Cronus, whose myth were adapted or adopted for Latin literature and Roman art, right? So they adapted it, meaning they took it and changed it, right? When you adapt to something, you're adapting. You're basically changing. You're the same person, but you're changing to the environment. You're adapting to it, right? They adapted it for Latin literature and Roman art, right? You know, like when them Ashkenazi people come over here and they got to still speak a little bit of Ashkenazi. They got to mix it in with our characters and stuff like that. So they call it Yiddish, right? It's because sometimes you come from another place and you can't really pronounce the words to the full extent of the language of the people that you're coming to conquer, the people that you're pretending to be, right? So you got to kind of make things your own. White people have been doing that and have learned that custom for a long time. They weren't new to it when they became the Romans after taking over the Greeks, right? The only reason Alexander and Philip were considered Greeks is because when we were running Greece, they were under us, their people, right? So when they take over, there's nothing else to call them in history other than the thing that the people over them called them, the Greeks, right? Until they changed the name, Idumeans and then Romans. Now in history, they've dropped the name Idumean, and we just know the whole pantheon of the white people from Greece as the Romans, right? If you don't know history, you think the white people are the Greeks and the Romans, and that's what we seem to be dealing with in this video today, and in the debate that happened with Ron Dalton, because he doesn't seem to know jack crap about the Greeks either, right? So just to refresh your memory, wait, hold on, let me finish. In particular, Cronus's role in genealogy of the Greek gods was transferred to Saturn. So Saturn got everything Saturn got from a god that wasn't named Saturn first, right? This god, right, though associated with Saturday, was only associated with Saturday because the Israelites that were there to teach Javan, the Mycenaeans, right, the Minoans, all those people that we took over in that PowerPoint that I'm about to pull back up in a second that I showed you guys, right, with sources and the video that we watched to prove it, to back it up, right? That's on the channel. Y'all could go watch that to see what we're talking about. It actually proves to apotheosis that they take our gods, our people, right, our stories, and they just give them their own name and add myth to it. It's called apotheosis. Let me Google that while we have it right here. Apotheosis. The highest point of development of something, culmination or climax. Greeks. In ancient Greek mythology, apotheosis was the act of elevating someone to the status of a god or deifying them. The word becomes or comes from the Greek verb apatheo or apatheion, which means to deify. Okay, so when you have a concept of something that's already deified, like our power, all they're going to do is add their name to it, right? And whatever other stories they want to make their people believe the story, right? So we tell them this is the maker of time, and time is the main aspect that they give to Cronus, right? Along with the story of him having these sons that basically disobey him, and instead of him devouring us, instead of like us, disobeying us, stuff like that, disobeying him and us going off, his way of punishing us, instead of throwing us into captivity, is literally devouring us, right? So instead of devouring us through other people, he devours us himself. That's the concept of Cronus and the Titans, if you heard that story when you was in school, right? Just like the Valhalla thing is Yahushua coming back with all of the warriors that are supposed to come from the bottomless pit in the Euphrates River and everything like that, and the angels that's supposed to be coming with him with fire. That's literally the story of Valhalla of the Danes, right? Everything that we brought from Greece and just put a spin on it due to paganism. It's still the biblical story, right? So, but again, this is stuff other brothers didn't seem to do their research on. So, hold on. And Shalom, Antonio.
Shalom, Cap. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabbarakatah.
My bad. I went blank for a second. Let me put this up for y'all one time. Just to prove the history for the people that might see this and didn't see the other stuff. We had Dan begin to establish colonies in Greek, right? As the Danans in 1500 BC and 1485 BC, right? They began the Greek pantheon. Their idol worship began in Judges, right? 18 to 22:31, right? Judges 18, 22 to 31. And 1 Kings 12, 26 to 30. You can read about how they had the Joppa coast, and even when you go to Ezekiel, right, you see how they've been going back and forth with Javan the whole entire time, right? History shows that they're the people that basically established Cyprus, and the way that the Southern Kingdom end up getting over there to help them establish colonies like the Lacedaemonians and the Spartans and the people in Athens that did the original Boule, right? That happens when the Mycenaeans and the Dorians, they pull up together. 1100 BC is when the Mycenaeans get there. The Mausians get there, right? Or about 1000 BC. The Mycenaeans are people that we took over, which are Javan, right? So we take over them. They call us the Dorians. That happens 1100 BC. Then we have these people, right? The Mausians pull up, which is the Southern Kingdom, in 1000 BC, and they're the people who helped us take over, right? Alexander and them in 193 AD under Septimius Severus and Persinius Niger, right? These are also the people that King James and all them brothers come from, because after they left Greece and Rome and stuff like that, they go and establish colonies over there in England, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales. And then later on, France and Germany and stuff like that. Well, Dan goes to Germany right away, and then to Scandinavia and all those other places. But that's in the lesson. Y'all can listen to that in the lesson. Just wanted to prove the history while we was talking about it. So, back to the video. And then we're going to get to the actual lesson. The lesson ain't going to be that long. It's just basically a rant with some precepts behind it. But I feel like this was much more important, right? And it's part of the community, so why not?
Right? The calendar we use today and its predecessors didn't even exist at the time God appointed the Holy Sabbath day.
Okay. Give me Genesis chapter 1. Can you please?
This is the book of Genesis.
Hold on, my bad. So look, I know you had to put up already. I forgot to ask you for it. So we got to understand. I want you guys to listen carefully, because he just said that the calendar we have never existed, right? It's important to understand the calendar is days and the names of the month. That's what a calendar is. Calendar is not moon phases, because we saw he said that days are determined by the moon cycle. But we know by the moon cycle that the moon cycle is not perfect, but somehow days, right? Days happen to be 24 hours every single time, right? Lunar month, the time between the same phase of the month reoccurring is not perfectly consistent. Damn. Holy crap-a-dacka. Averaging about 29 and a half days, the true cycle is 29 days, 12 hours, and 44 minutes, or 29, 53 days, right? So their junk is all over the place.
Right.
The lunar month is not perfectly consistent. It's perfectly inconsistent, right? Which also puts them in a carrot for the nail in the coffin that makes people walk out the debate about the Shabbat in the counting of the Pentecost. But we'll get it in a second. So hold on. Back to the video. Oh wait, Genesis. Go ahead.
Con, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. Verse 6.
So look, the evening and the morning were the first day, right?
God.
Now, hold on a second. Jump to verse 8.
God. Genesis chapter 1 and verse 8. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day.
All right, now jump to verse 13. So far, we had 2 days.
God, this is the Genesis.
And we got evening and morning. Go ahead.
God, this is Genesis chapter 1 and verse 13. And the evening and the morning were the third day.
Okay, so we got 3 days, right? Let me get to the fourth day. Jump to verse 19.
This is the book of Genesis chapter 1 and verse 19.
Oh, wait, hold on. Jump to verse 17 and read to verse 19.
God, Genesis chapter 1 and verse 19.
Jump to read from 15 to 19.
God.
Smooth. I'm not going to stop you.
God, this is the book of Genesis chapter 1 and verse 15. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth.
Damn, my bad. Start at verse 14.
Verse 14. And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night. And let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth." And it was so. And God made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God said, and God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day.
So we don't get the great lights to divide the day from the night, the sun and the moon, to the fourth day. So if days are determined by, the moon, but the moon's created on the fourth day, how's that possible? How we make that shake? Where they do that at? Huh?
God.
Okay. Don't make sense to me. Might make sense to y'all, but to me, it don't make sense. Just saying. You know what I mean?
Neither were they given to the Israelites by the Most High, but rather by the beast Satan. All you Israelites.
Looks like so far with the, conception of the month of Abib that he gave us to keep the Passover, right? That would be a calendar, right? And the constitution of days that we see in the book of Genesis before the moon, right? Before Esau, before Babylon, before Persia, before Medes, before any of these cracker-jacker heathen, right? That just happens to be before all of that. It's right there in the Bible. So I don't see how this whole slide here is even true, because biblically it don't seem like it.
Israelites believe the white man is the damn devil according to the Bible, and Rome is the beast system, and the revised Roman Empire, NATO, and EU is the beast system, right? And it's true. The Bible says that. There will be some that say
the beast system doesn't mean that the beast changed every single thing. And it's crazy that we say that. Like brother said it in the debate with Ron Dalton, just because the white man is the white man doesn't mean that he changed Israel from some other place, right? Doesn't mean he put everything in a JanSport backpack and took it away. But now the white man has changed every single thing because we want the Sabbath to be lunar, inconsistent lunar Sabbath.
Right.
It just seems a little hypocritical to me. Love brothers though.
Say the devil's beast calendar somehow matches with God's holy calendar. That's laughable. And you would need to prove that.
Well, we match with the devil's Star of David matches with our seal of Israel. The devil's zeets don't look too much different than ours. There's a lot of brothers that we got in the community speaking the Hebrew that the devil speak.
Right.
We ain't saying that, Ron Dalton's right in changing the land of Israel because the devil's over there. Why is it cool for us to keep the menorah, put it on a crest for our, signet of our camp, and the devil got it? But the devil had to make the calendar that we could see the Most High gave us in the book of Genesis. You know what I'm saying? This is just a response. It's not a challenge. There was no challenge given. Only reason I'm doing this video is because brothers didn't like us making responses on Facebook. They would have rather us make a video. So I decided to incorporate it into the lesson I'm doing tonight. We almost done.
The true Sabbath revealed. Most of the world has been deceived.
All right. Let me fast forward a little bit. Most of the world has been deceived. I doubt not. All right. The vast majority of the Israelites in the truth, in the Israelites, period, that keep the Sabbath, keep the Saturday Sabbath. Right? It's already not that many Israelites keeping the Sabbath. Period.
Right.
Right?
Right.
If the ones that do keep the Sabbath, the majority of them are on the same accord with the Saturday Sabbath, and the Bible says that the devil wouldn't be able to deceive the very elect, and the elect have to be within our numbers, I strongly believe. I would strongly also disagree with you thinking it's a fact that, the world is deceived, right? Because the world that's come back to the law, statutes, and commandments doesn't seem to be deceived. The majority of us are keeping the Sabbath in a day that, well, some pretty good Israelite historians were able to, also say that was the Sabbath. We're going to prove that as well.
But mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. That's what we're doing today. Pulling down the stronghold of the beast calendar. Satan.
So far, it seems like he's pulling down the stronghold of the Most High's calendar, because we see that days come from before the months, and they start with the first day, the second day, the third day, right? We have calendar names given to us. So that means that we didn't just start with one all the way to the moon gets dark and then start the count over again. We clearly had a calendar of sorts, regardless of what Google tells you, right? We could just see that by the fact that we have names of months, right? We have the Most High saying on the 14th day of the month of Abib, right? Like, that's a calendar, brother. Hello.
Satan's calendar.
By definition, etymology. That's a calendar structured in a coordinated series, right? With multiple months. Calendar. We have that. The Most High gave it to us, wrote it in the Torah, right? How can we say that comes from the devil? That's like blasphemy damn near to me. I don't know.
The devil's calendar. The Sabbath that was originated, Saturday Sabbath was created, rather, excuse me, to worship Shaitan.
I thought I was the only brother in Israel that stuttered. The Most High might have did that. I don't know.
Shaitan. Right? What'd you say earlier, Hassad? Prove all things.
Yeah.
This will be proven. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, and I just got to keep reiterating.
Not only brother in Israel, but only brother that be talking like this.
Family, like one of the slides just said, there's going to be people who are going to attempt to say that it's a coincidence that God's calendar and Satan's calendar are both the exact same. How foolish does that sound?
What coincidence that the seal of Israel and the seal that they use is the same? Does that not make sense? They got the Star of David and we got the seal of Israel, the lily, the pomegranate, right? It's the seal. Give me 2nd Ezra 10 and 22. Right quick, Antonio, real quick on the sword. Right. Is that what I'm looking for? Let me make sure.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 10 and verse 22.
That ain't what I want. Wait a minute. Hold on.
I was about to say because I don't know how to say that word. Salted.
Hold on a second.
What are you looking for, Cap?
2nd Esdras 10,
10
22 to 23. Damn, that is what I want. Okay.
Con. It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 10 and verse 22.
Oh, yeah, that is what I want. Okay, I'm tripping. Go ahead. My bad. The world is sultry. Yeah.
Con. Our psaltery is laid on the ground. Our song is put to silence. Our rejoicing is at an end. The light of our candlestick is put out.
Wait, hold on. So we have a menorah, right? It got 7 candlesticks. Y'all will say, well, the heathen got 9. Well, the what's them people? The Kwanzaa folks, they got 7. They look just like ours, right? We not supposed to use the menorah because they're using it for Kwanzaa? Go ahead. That's a Hamite thing, right? Because Ham got it, we can't use it no more. Oh, all right, go ahead.
The light, you want me to start from the top?
No, just keep going.
Come. The light of our candlestick is put out. The ark of our covenant is spoiled. Our holy things are defiled.
What?
Our holy things are defiled.
So if this is the holy calendar of the Most High, it doesn't mean that they made it and that it's the Satan's calendar. It just means they defiled it. They put their names on it, right? They changed the times and seasons. They have us keeping our days and stuff like that in different seasons. That's literally what it means. We're keeping our days in different times. That's all it means. Not they changed the days or they gave us days. We didn't have days before. It's a calendar. No, it's Satan's calendar. But Genesis starts with, and this was the first day. Come on, bro. Keep going. Read. Our holy things are defiled.
Our holy things are defiled, and the name that is called upon us is almost profane.
Okay. Wait. So they call themselves Jews. We not supposed to call ourselves Jews no more? The heathen got us the same name. Why use it for the calendar and not for everything else? Right? If it's theirs. We just saw that the name Saturn, the day that it associates with, ain't even a day they created. It's something they stole from the Greeks, which we would be included in. You know what I mean? So if they stole the day, how could you call it Satan's calendar? Just because they stole it, it's theirs now? We don't get to take nothing back? Then why are we calling ourselves Israelites? Why don't we come up with a different name? Nuwapian. Why we ain't follow them? Right? They include the name of Israel and the land of Israel in their ideology. Why we didn't include them? Why we didn't jump with the Moors? They got Moabite, Israelite, Canaanite, right? So I mean, it don't make sense. It's kind of hypocritical.
We're talking about the people who literally lie about everything. They told us Jesus was
And
right.
we see that this is a lie before we fast forward, because Saturday doesn't come from Saturn, right? The day itself, I mean, resting on that day. This day and the concept of it was adopted by such. And we're going to see in just a minute, right, that when it was turned into Saturday and it was ran by the Romans, it wasn't a day of rest. One of the guys that he's going to post actually said that in the post that he's going to post. We're going to give the context of it. Let me go back to my notes. So hold on. All right, bet. So 14. All right, yeah, this is the part. All right, so last part of the video we're gonna play, and then we're gonna show some stuff and then get into the lesson real quick for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and hop off this thing. So 1440. Yeah.
We're not subscribing to their theology. Whose full name was Quintus Septimius Florence Tertullian. He lived approximately 155 to 220, right? What does he say in Apology chapter 16? If we devote Sunday to rejoicing from a far different reason than sun worship, we have some resemblance to those of you who devote the day of Saturn to ease and luxury, proving that Rome is taking Saturday as a sacred day, though they too go far away from Jewish ways, of which indeed they are ignorant. This source is literally saying that people are honoring and worshiping Saturn without even knowing it. This is what the source is saying, right? And this is what our people are doing today. Ignorant idolatry, right?
What the source is saying, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, right? And I'm about to give context to it. Tertullian is a brother, right, from the time period close to Josephus and Philo, right? So he's giving context to the type of things that would be done on Saturn, right? Saturn was a day where you would be given, quote, ease and luxury, right? Luxury, for those of you that don't know, is a word that would be used the same way as liberty back then, right? Freedom, okay? The Sabbath day, you don't have particular freedom. We don't buy and sell. We don't go out and do everything that everybody else is doing. It's a rest day for us, right? The reason that Israelites were going against Jewish ways on Saturday or Saturn was because they weren't resting on this day. They were enjoying, ease of mind and luxury, freedom. They were doing whatever the hell they want against Jewish practice, right? Against Israelite practice. That's literally what this quote is saying, not what he said. Literally what I said. Now I'm going to prove it. Right? It's not saying, let me post it one more time. If we devote Sunday to rejoicing, if Sundays to rejoice, if Sundays to be happy about, right? Because it's a start of a new day. He's speaking in reference to Jewish customs as well, because he knows about them, right? Sunday would be a happy day for us because it's the first day of our week. We get to rest on Saturday. We get to chill out. You know what I'm saying? That's our rest day. Sunday, we back to the grind again, back on the hamster wheel, right? if you're a merchant, you're making good money, whatever the hell it is, right? You devote Sunday to rejoicing. Watch this. From a far different reason than sun worship. Not for the reason other people rejoice on Sunday, because that would be their Sabbath day, the way that we rejoice for a Saturday, right? We have some resemblance to those of you who devote the day of Saturn to ease and luxury. The day of Saturn is Saturday. Ease and luxury here translates to rest or mind, right? Ease of mind, relaxation, rather, right? And freedom. And then it says, though they too go far away from Jewish ways. Why? Because Jewish ways on this day isn't to have, your relaxation and freedom in the sense that everybody else is doing it. It is relaxation and freedom, but in a holy way. We're actually resting, right? Not relaxation, freedom. I'm going to go spend money at the movies. I'm going to go to the mall with my girl. I'm going to go shop and go look at antiques or whatever the hell niggas do. I'm going to go roller skate, a rollerblade, a skateboard, right? That's relaxation and freedom, luxury, right? Israelites aren't doing that on those days. For the Israelites that were doing that on those days, the ones that were taught to do that on those days, they go against Jewish ways. They are ignorant of such things. Why? Because they've grown up as Gentiles. They're already under Roman siege. This is history that we've taught you at Anointed House of Saints. Okay. You following, sis? All praises. Yeah. So that's that. Now let's get some sources, right? Because one of the sources they brought up in the video was Philo, right? I like Philo. Philo the homie, right? Philo of Alexandria, right? Israelite historian. Deacon said, Philo the Israelite historian said that the lunar Sabbath is the Sabbath we should keep. But the Decalogue of Philo mentions the 7-day week is assigned to the beginning of the greatest of festivals, which are the longest in duration. These festivals are unleavened bread, tabernacles feasts, which take place during the vernal and autumn equinoxes. One of the things that the brother Jonathan gave to me, right, that Joel used in the debate, right, with me reading for him and everything like that, and also throwing some points out there for the board, the whiteboard, and the calendar that we're going to do the count for, right? One of the points was that the Sabbath day, right, particularly for the Feast of Pentecost, right, unleavened bread, there's a specific count that has to be done. That's spoken about in Leviticus. If you're following a lunar Sabbath, your count is not going to be perfect because the lunar Sabbath is inconsistent. So this is the reason why that, along with the misconception that your days are determined by the month, right, is the reason why those brothers have such a grievous Sabbath day, which the commandments are not supposed to be grievous, and their Sabbath day changes month by month. 1 month it might be a Tuesday, the next month it might be a Friday, the next month it might be a Thursday, the next month it might be a Wednesday. It's never the same day, month by month. At my job, I wouldn't have my job. I would get fired because they'd be like, what the hell kind of Sabbath is this? Where they do that at? Antonio, you can keep your job doing that?
I'm in a different boat because I'm a barber, but
all right, well, if you was a barber, right, and you had a consistent client, you got any clients that come a specific day every day?
come.
Like a client that only come on Thursdays type shit?
Come.
Now, every other month, you're not going to be able to use that client or do that client's hair. Ain't that going to cause for that client going somewhere else?
Come.
How many times you got for that to happen before your business go out of business?
Yeah.
That's grievous, right? My little brother's a barber. Yeah. See? Man, this is crazy. So it's like, brothers don't be thinking. Commandments ain't supposed to be grievous, but You got to change the day of your Sabbath every single day. The Bible never says that. And thou Sabbath should be a different day of the month each month. Book, chapter, verse. It says, and it should be a 7-day Sabbath. 6 days thou shalt do thy work, and on the 7th day you rest.
Con.
Why every month? Where does it say? And at the beginning of the month, thy days shall restart. So why are we restarting the days? As far as the name of the month and stuff like that, the name of the days. Like if your month stop on a Thursday, right? Now that Thursday become a Monday. That don't make sense, right? But that's what you do for the Sabbath. Every month, when the month stop on a Wednesday, you don't change. Instead of going to Thursday, you don't go, oh, it's Monday now because it's the beginning of the month. Or it's Sunday now because it's the beginning of the month. That's the first day of the week. I mean, the first day of the week, right? This is the first day of the month, so it got to be Sunday, even though it just was Wednesday yesterday. That shit don't, Salakia, that don't make sense. So why would your Sabbath day be different? I know it's a holy day, but damn, not like that. It ain't supposed to be the only day of the month that changes. When you put some logic to it, it don't make sense, huh? This is why brothers walked away. But hold on. Wait, there's more. See, the lesson wasn't supposed to be this long. It didn't turn into a Sabbath lesson. It's crazy. All right, look, real quick. Babylonians. Okay. We got the 7-day calendar from the Babylonians because the narrative switched. It changed from at the beginning, it was the devil's calendar, and in the middle of the video, it became the Babylonian calendar, right? Well, the Babylonian, I wouldn't consider the Babylonians a deceiver, right? Because if we're being honest, the Persian and Mede kingdom, right, was a branch of the Babylonian kingdom, and those Persian Mede Babylonians literally allowed us to rebuild our temple instead of deceiving us. The Most High sanctioned that. Abraham, our forefather, was a Chaldean from Ur, which is Babylonian, which means he's Babylonian, right? But let us say Abraham is an Israelite. Yeah, he's a Babylonian. So the Babylonians can't be the devil, right? Because then you'd be saying Abraham's the devil, right? Okay, so, like the calendar, 7-day, right? According to the history, right? Sargon, that king I told you, that's related to Abraham and his people, right? Of Akkad, that we went over when we went over the captivity lesson of the Northern Kingdom, right? If y'all go back and y'all didn't miss it, like if y'all missed that, too bad, so sad. The video's on the channel, you can watch it after this, right? But Sargon, the guy that the Rock played as the Scorpion King, right? He created this 7-day stat or established it as 7 days, made sure everybody in the land was just keeping 7-day work week, right? 7-day week period, 2300 BC. Okay. When was Abraham born? 2166 BC. For those of you guys that don't know how BC works, it goes backwards to go forward, right? So if we start at 2500 BC and we ended up at 2100 BC, that means we went down, right? But it's going ahead of time. You understand? We're getting closer to our time from that time. So we're going forward, even though the number is going down. Make sense? So this is after the time period that we just saw, right? We saw 2300 BC for when Sargon establishes and puts in stone, everybody gonna do this 7-day work week, right? And then we have Abraham being born within that society about 250 years later in 2166, right? Or if you believe the Jewish people, he was born 1948 years after creation, because that's when they got back to the land. So it would be 2056, right? BC. Either way, it's after the fact, right? So that being the case, the 7-day work week, Abraham was born into it, which would mean Isaac was born into it, which would mean Jacob was born into it, which would also explain why the Most High went ahead and gave us our own names for months in a calendar that the brother has said came from the devil. Does that make any damn sense? Okay. All right. Okay. Y'all getting it? It's making sense? It's clicking? Antonio, it's clicking?
Huh.
Okay. All right. All praises. Cool. Knock is clicking?
But I mean, it made sense when you went to Genesis and pointed out the days was already there. So
it's like, damn. Okay, never mind. Yeah. All right. Now, Britannica. We ain't got to bring that out. Let me see. Where's this other thing I wanted to bring out? Here we go. Okay. So, Josephus, real quick. Right? Where's Josephus? Here we go. Let me show y'all this. Y'all can see this on the screen right
now. Check your text, Cap.
Boaz said what?
Check your text.
Boaz needs to stop texting me when I'm on class and get his little light skin ass up here. I can't read all of this right now, Boaz. I'm teaching. What are you doing?
I can't
don't understand what this is. Boaz, you're going to have to come on here and explain this because I don't have time to read it right now. I'm in the middle of a lesson. This is why you have to come on class. You have the access to the damn chat. Get your lazy behind up here and say something, Nick. Damn. Like, goodness gracious.
There you go.
You just text it to somebody else then so they can read it. Oh, damn. There he is. He's here. Look how easy that was. Okay. Hold on just a second. You can explain it in a minute. I want to read it. This man Boaz just could have jumped on. You see how niggas be doing? They be wanting me to do everything. Crazy.
It's like a Captain. Yeah. Can you scale that a little bigger?
Yeah. I'm trying.
Go down to the bottom right of the screen.
No. I gotta find it first. Hold on. I done moved from it. That's why.
Got
it. Okay. Y'all can see this?
Got it.
All right. Whoa. Damn. Wait. Hold on. Knock. God. Leave.
There we go.
Thanks. Hold up. For the blind people in the back. Can y'all see that?
There we go.
Look. Now, brothers brought up the Saturnese, right? Okay. Now, Pompey, Titus, right? Vespasian. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, we got the changing from the Greek names to the Roman names, right? We got that. But watch this. Meanwhile, at the same time, nevertheless, furthermore, the Hebrews, the Israelites, the Jews, them people we claim to be, had their own 7-day week, nigga, which was already well established in the first temple times, brother. Long centuries before it became so in the Roman Empire. So we in idolatry, or is Mosaic Magazine telling us what it is and what it mean? Huh? Let me read it again. Meanwhile, the Hebrews, regardless of the Romans, taking names from the Greeks, from Cronus to Saturn, right? We get Chronia, the festival of Chronia, and the festival of Saturnalia, right? They just steal things from you, right? That's it. They thieves. They don't make anything, right? Meanwhile, we had our 7-day work week because we got it from Abraham, who he got from the Babylonians because he was one. All right. Meanwhile, the Hebrews had their own 7-day work week, which was already well established in the first temple times, long centuries before it became so in the Roman Empire. Its days did not, of course, have the names of the pagan gods attached to them, right? We had different names, just like the Most High gave us our own names to the calendar. Did he not give us a calendar? No, he definitely gave us one. Did he not give us names of months? No, we definitely have those, right? So you can't say the calendar comes from the devil. Why did Boaz leave? What the hell is wrong with this Negro? What are you doing? Stay your behind up here. I'm almost finished. You're going to say something right after I finish. So we have to understand, right? I got one more thing to show them before you say something, you know. But I want everybody to understand this, right? Oh, wait, wrong way. Here we go. Flavi, right? Josephus also discussed the spread of the Sabbath observance among non-Jews, which is why everybody else is doing it. You should read Josephus. But what's the point? Yes, Josephus, Flavius Josephus of Antiquities, the Israelite historian of the Jews, said the Sabbath was on Saturday. Right? So, yeah, we have the Decalogue of Philo saying the Sabbath isn't lunar, it's Saturday. Though the PowerPoint of said Philo said it was lunar. So who do we believe? The Decalogue that Philo wrote or the PowerPoint from another brother? Right? And I ain't saying that to be mean or nothing. I just got to call it like I see it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Brothers are saying it's the devil's calendar. Well, if that's the case, that's the devil's Israel. That's the devil's menorah. That's the devil's seal of Israel / lily / pomegranate / seal of Israel. That's the devil's Hebrew characters. That's the devil's temple. Them the devil's zeets y'all be wearing and clipping to the side of your clothes. Everything the devil's, because he got all of it, right? Make it make sense. You can't use that when you want to. You got to use it all the time. If that's the case, let Ron Dalton teach us that we got to go to sub-Saharan Africa because that's the devil's Israel. We can't go back because they there now. They got it. It's theirs. Right? Because we see they didn't make up even the day that associates with Saturn. The reason Flavius and them was able to say what they said is because it doesn't associate with Saturn. Before I show you some real knife cutting things, I'm gonna let the good brother Boaz the Diligent go ahead and say something. What you got, Boaz? Boaz Bonzelis.
Hey, I'm gonna make this as fast as possible because I don't want to take away from what you're doing. I just want to add to it. The brothers Antonio or not grab Genesis 7 and 10, and another brother grab Genesis 8, chapter 3, or it's like it, chapter 8 and verse 3.
I get 8 3.
All right, read that 7 and 10 if you get that real quick, Baba Kashai.
And again, the only reason I'm doing this, guys, only reason we're doing this is because brother said we idolaters. We're just trying to prove that we're not in idol worship, right? Because that's like some messed up stuff to judge brothers in feast days and Sabbaths.
John.
And we might be the ones actually doing it the right way, according to the history and the feast and everything we can see, including the historians that they falsely quoted, right? But go ahead.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 7 and verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. Verse 11. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the second month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened.
Okay, so just to give a context on this, and I know everybody knows this, we talking about the flood. Jump down to verse 24, Baba Kashai.
Come, verse 24. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days.
Right, so waters was on the earth for 150 days. Antonio, read this in Genesis 8 and 3, Baba Kashai.
That's the book of Genesis, chapter 8 and verse 3. And the waters returned from off the earth continually. And after the end of the 150 days, the waters were abated.
Keep reading.
And the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month.
All right. Now check this out. Not just read in Genesis 7 that the waters, when it started, it said around the 2nd month on the 17th day, if I'm correct, right? You still there, not?
Salakia. What was that, officer?
In Genesis 7 and 10, I think it was, it said the ark or the floods, it would have started in the 2nd month, or it gave it in the 2nd month on the 17th day. Now, what Antonio read was the 17th day of the, what was it, the 7th month? All in total, that was 150 days. So going off a structure of 30 days. The reason why I put up this calendar, because it shows like, all right, let's go. Let's say this is the lunar Sabbath, right? The day lands on a Sunday. That's the new moon. 7 days from there, you get the Shabbat on the 7th. And you get this consistently throughout a whole week. And I believe this is what Adonai Eliel was explaining. When you get down here after the 28th day, you get a whole new week. And then what happens? You land in the new moon. Now your week starts over. You don't even have a complete week. The week has ended short after 1 day.
Right. If you're going after the lunar Sabbath, you'd have to start Monday right here on Tuesday. On Wednesday.
Right.
Your month start over.
Which shows
that's why their Sabbath is different every month, right? Okay. They might have a Sabbath on a Thursday or a Tuesday or something like that one day, and like 1 month. The next month, if it start on a Wednesday, that's when they 7th day, they start their count.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But
good point.
But you gotta add one.
Good point, man. Good point. Man, thanks for bringing the calendar out, so people could actually get a visual of the lunar Sabbath or the lunar calendar, right? And y'all can see the percentages on there and how each day it's a different percentage because it's inconsistent, right? Some days it looked dark for multiple days and looked light for multiple days, right? And all we have to go by as far as us judging the moon is what we can see. Especially if we're talking about ancient Israel. We ain't talking about us having apps on our phone. All they could go by is what they could see, right? So if it's dark for 2-3 days and they're counting the days based off the moon, like Deacon said and wrote in the PowerPoint, that means they could have had days for 2-3 days at a time. They could have had 2 or 3 of their days would be one of our days because of the moon cycle. Especially if we go by the dark moon, right? So, yeah. Now, to give some historical proof, because y'all know I'm the history guy. Actually got to give credit to Chief Ephraim for this one. Because he posted it before I did, so some of y'all might have seen some of these quotes already. But it comes from the Bible Things and Bible Ways, wordpress.com, right? Just some stuff some people put together with some historical accounts, an actual book and chapters and verses and real references that you could go to, right? Brothers make PowerPoints now without putting references, because when you actually Google what the historian said, it ain't what's on the PowerPoint, right? So, Roman historian named Cassius Dio, who wrote about the Roman history, gives an account of wars waged between Rome and Judea. He explains the capture of Jerusalem in 63 BC, right? Y'all know about that, Titus Vespasian? As it was, they made an exception of what is called the days of Saturn. We were talking about that all day. And by doing no work at all on those days, he said that we honored the day of Saturn. You know what I'm saying? We honored the day of Saturn by having luxury and ease. But here, Cassius is writing about us making it a rest day, right? The quote from homeboy, name start with a T, I forget his name, but he said, right, in the quote that we saw earlier, he literally told everybody that the people that he was talking about weren't keeping the Jewish ways. They had luxury and freedom on the Sabbath day, Saturn day. Cassius is telling us the Jews was resting though. Watch. No work at all on Saturn on these days afforded to the Romans an opportunity in this interval to batter down the wall. So he's explaining that the whole reason that the Romans were able to surround Jerusalem in 63 BC to begin the siege where you start to eat your children and all those things within the gates, right, is because folks was resting on the Sabbath. This is before they took us down officially this time, right? So, like, that's what happens. We're keeping the Sabbath on their Saturn. It's our Sabbath, their Saturn. And they come to Jerusalem and sack Jerusalem, right? 63 BC, right? Like, it's crazy how the history works. If we were never keeping this feast day, how would they have known to come to us on Saturday? If we weren't going to be known to be not doing nothing. It doesn't make any sense. It says Cassius wrote that the Romans, who learned that the Jews rested on the days of Saturn, Saturday, which was known as Saturn in the day of Rome, attacked Jerusalem's stronghold on those days. Reference Cassius Dio, Roman History, 3716 1 4 appendix, right? So, witness number 2, Roman soldier named Frontinius, in his book named Staggems, writes the account of the destruction of the Second Temple, 70 AD. Titus Vespasian attacks the Jews on the day of Saturn. So we got 63 BC, we get attacked on Saturday. 70 AD, we get attacked on Saturday. Why do all of them know to attack us on Saturday if they gave us Saturday worship? Does it make sense, Antonio? You're the only one they can see, and we see you shaking your head. You're the soldier. Does it make sense? Is it clicking? Okay. All right. So we got 2 accounts. Both of them historically we know happened because our camp and their camp teach that it happened, right? For some reason, the historians say that the reason they was able to take us down in 63 BC, 70 AD was what? The Sabbath. Okay.
That supports the law being upheld too, but
well, hey, there it is. So the Greek language and ancient manuscripts of the New Testament also give evidence to the connection between the word Sabbath or Shabbat and the day which has been named Saturn, right? Named Saturn, not created as Saturn, not created for Saturn, but named Saturday, right? The Greek word Sabbaton, right? Does Sabbaton have anything to do with Saturn? No, because the Greeks didn't know a Saturn. Their day for it was Cronus. They kept Sabbaton on Cronus. How about that? Huh? Saturday. Why they didn't put that in the PowerPoint? Used in the original Greek manuscripts in the New Testament. We know we spoke Greek. The Israelite brother Jerome wrote in the Koine Greek to give us the Greek Septuagint. and to give to our heathen subjects that were under us during the Holy Roman Empire, right? And the Greco-Roman Empire under Septimius Severus and Persinius Niger and their people, right? That's why we wrote the Septuagint. We proved that. So that's that, right? Just to give a couple of historical accounts. We'll have a class where we actually go into this more in depth, for real, for real. So now for the little speak on the community aspect, right? I'm glad we got all y'all on here to read. Actually, that'll make it go real quick. We could get it done in probably about 15 minutes. So look, we did a post, or I made a post basically on Facebook last week. I guess it pissed off some people that are no longer in the community. One of the guys got mad because he claims that people in the Israelite community don't do what we did tonight. We'll see things that might be called out as, false doctrine, but the doctrine I was given might be false itself, like calling us a bunch of idolaters for keeping Saturday Sabbath and lying to everybody, telling us that Saturday itself was only made a rest day because of Saturn. When we see, before we even knew what Saturn was, they were coming to us, right, on our Sabbath to take us out. That's what we see. So, yeah, we see that they stole the day of Sabbaton and Cronus and called it Saturn or Saturday. So it wasn't even something they created. It was stolen, right? So if they made it a rest day for a time, that concept was stolen with the name Sabbaton, which we just proved was Greek, which is before the Romans. And we proved that the Greeks were involved with the Israelites, right? Javan and Dan and Judah and Simeon were trading with them. It's in the book of Ezekiel, right? When it talks about the Solomon and stuff like that going back and forth, it's explained in there. It's explained in the book of Joshua. So we have those references, right? But I said this, when you lead a community, the Israelite community, you don't got to post about it. You can realize, and I said, you realize that the elect can't leave, right? So brothers and sisters ain't tripping if the Most High lets you go. And people took this, I guess, to heart, because a lot of people have left the community, right? For one reason or another. Usually it's because of another brother or sister, their actions. So I then posted, if you don't prove your friends or the body you joined properly, do you have a right to blame the community when the group isn't what you thought it was? Then I said, if so, doesn't that cause unwanted schism in the body? Which schism is a concept that's given to us in 1 Corinthians chapter 12, right? If you're part of the body of Christ, we're not supposed to have any schism in it. We're supposed to be able to have conversations and discussions and talk about doctrine like I did tonight and like Hassad and them did without it making us hate each other, right? I don't hate them for calling us idolaters. I just want to prove that it's not true. And that me, myself, I don't appreciate being called such, especially when I could prove I'm not one. Using sources the same way y'all use sources, right? Damn, sorry. But yeah. So then I said, hold on, what else I said? Where did the other post at? Oh yeah. And I said, if the actions of a man or woman cause you to leave the whole community instead of being a better example for the community, you're weak, or you're weak as F. And I mean that. And I do. Right? Reason I said all those things is because, well, for one, when you look up the definition of community, let's do that right quick. All right, let me pull this up right quick for y'all one time. The definition of community, right? Because there's a lot of people on Facebook making that post, I'm no longer a part of the Israelite community and blah, 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 blah. And that's what made me make the post, right? Because I saw women and men posting this BS, right? And niggas have a tendency especially ones from the South, right, have a tendency to use words that we don't know the definition to. Unfortunately, right? You know anybody that does that, not Antonio? You know anybody that does that? Use words they don't actually know the meaning of?
God, all the time.
And they use them real confidently.
Right.
So, folks talking about, I'm leaving the Israelite community. And they got mad when I said what I said. Like, we don't give a damn. And then they start saying things like, oh, so if I leave the community or if I leave a camp, the Most High don't mean a lake of fire. And I'm like, damn, where did I say that? Did y'all hear me say that in the post I read? Right? Oh, if I leave a camp, the Most High gonna send me to hell. Damn, where did I type that? Right? Oh, if I leave a camp, I ain't in the community no more. I mean, I ain't an Israelite no more. I mean, I ain't say it, but y'all the one said you're leaving the community. And the definition of community is a group of people living in the same place or having a particular characteristic in common. Second definition, a feeling of fellowship with others as a result of sharing common attitudes, interests, and goals. Now, let me ask you something. A common characteristic would be us all calling ourselves Israelites, right? Somebody got to answer that. I need to respond. Okay. So, if I say I'm no longer part of the community, and a main characteristic of our community is the title Israelite, because everybody not calling themselves that. In fact, we're the only ones on the planet doing that today, right? Even the Israelis aren't Israelites. They're Israeli. So that's a main characteristic of our community. If you leave the community, do you then get to still call yourself Israelite? Wasn't when you came into the community, you left Christian and then you became Israelite? Wasn't that part of what put you in the community? Right? I'm an Israelite now. Huh? We ain't black no more. That's just a color. It ain't fact no more. Right? I'm an Israelite. Right? That's what niggas was saying. Huh? You in the community. When you leave, are you still an Israelite?
Right.
You know why when niggas kill each other, niggas don't leave the nigga community or the black community? Because that would mean you can't call yourself black no more. Stupid. You left the community. Right? When Tiger Woods got on TV and said, I'm Kablasian, a lot of niggas didn't claim him because they was like, he not claiming the community. Right? So that's what, I mean, the definition is there. A feeling of fellowship with others. If you no longer do holy convocations, are you even in the community? Where's the fellowship? If you was in the camp and you haven't congregated with the camp or anybody since then, maybe one guy and his kids. But that's it. Is that fellowship for real? Right? Especially in the way that we're commanded as a nation, not desired to come together. Not you and your kids come to my house. Me by myself. Right? No. As a result of sharing common attitudes, interests, and goals. Right? If you're an Israelite, your common interest, attitude, and goal should be attitude, screw the heathen, love my people. Right? Interest, keep the commandments, faith in Christ, get to the kingdom. Goal, the kingdom, rulership, right? Forever and ever. Daniel 7:18, right? So, if you leave the community, are you still a part of that? By definition, I would say no. If you say you left, right? Now, camps, Deuteronomy 23:14. Because it's like, if I leave a camp, what's the point of being in the camps? I just don't like the camps. The camps. Well, it's 1,800 million camps, right? All of us ain't the same. The camp that you don't like is not the camp you have to join. You don't have to watch that camp. You don't have to be around that camp. You see how many people done dropped off the video? How many people didn't have to watch no more? Y'all don't have to watch, right? You're not going to stop nothing, but you don't have to watch. That camp going to still do what they do. You can watch another camp, though. You could join another camp, though, or a congregation, or a group, or a clique, whatever you want to call it, if you don't want to call it a camp. Why do brothers call it a camp? Why do we continue to use the word camp? Because of the Israelites, right? What's suspect, Luis? Luis Dones. But Deuteronomy 23:14. Read that. This is why we say camps. What are the reasons?
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23 and verse 14. For the Lord thy God walketh in the midst of thy camp to deliver thee and to give up thine enemies before thee. Therefore shall thy camp be holy, that he see no unclean thing in thee and turn away from thee.
So the law, Deuteronomy, the second telling of the law, is telling us that God walks in the midst of our camp. If you know anything about the telling of the law, it was given to the congregations of Jacob, right? As our heritage. That just says in Sirach 24:23 and Sirach chapter 17, right? Oh, yeah, they suspect as hell. They suspect as hell. But yeah, so like the brothers, we gonna explain why they suspect, because yeah, I was hoping that's what you was meaning. Because look, Deuteronomy 23:14 is explaining to us camp, right? Camp unity. These people claim that we don't teach the Bible correctly. We don't teach what the Bible actually says. We be sliding away out of things and don't be putting real judgment on people and stuff like that, as far as people in the community that do things wrong, right? But Deuteronomy 23:14 is telling us about a camp. A camp is a community. So a camp is a community. Camp is a congregation. Camp is a assembly of people. It's a convocation, right? That's what a community is. So if the community is a camp, we're supposed to be unified. The Most High says, us unified, he's going to walk amongst. If we stay unclean, he's not going to turn away from. I mean, if we don't stay unclean or we don't become unclean, at that time it was become unclean, but now if we don't stay unclean, he's going to not turn away from us, right? He'll turn to us. He'll accept us. That's what was being said here, right? He walks in the midst of our camp. Why was that important? Zephaniah 2:1. And then somebody else give me second Esdras 2:27.
I'll grab second Esdras.
All right, bet. So Zephaniah 2:1. I want that first. Or I'll get it if I need to. Zephaniah.
I know I was muted. Slack. Zephaniah 2:1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
That's right. So we're supposed to gather ourselves together, right? Gather together as a nation not desired. That's the job that we're supposed to have, right? Unfortunately, our people think they can leave the community and end up in a place where they're going to get the same outcome as everybody else. Me personally, I don't believe that. Can the Most High have mercy on people? Yes. But is it likely that that's going to happen for everybody that decides to leave the community? No. And we see that by the vast number of you guys that leave the community and don't continue to do the things you were doing while in the community. I can't count on a hand or both of them or my hands and my feet how many brothers and sisters I've seen leave the community, and they used to be diligent coming to camp, diligent doing the feast days, diligent wearing their fringes, diligent teaching people, and now that they're out of the camp that they were in, the group or the congregation, or not congregating around the brothers they was going around, they don't do none of that crap anymore.
Nope.
They're not going to no feast days. Fuck it. They don't even own a tent anymore. So they can't do anything about tabernacle.
Right.
Right? It's like they just don't do anything. So that's one thing I noticed, basically from all of them, right? That ended up leaving. They stopped doing the things they were doing before, and somehow still have the strong delusion that they're in the truth, right? That is what that is, a strong delusion, right? So we got Zechariah. Zephaniah 21. Yeah.
I got a precept. I feel like go with that. It's Matthew 7:20. Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. So, like you said, if you doing things that are required of the Israelites, then that way you would associate yourself with that community. If you're not doing the things that are required to be an Israelite, you have to associate yourself with the community that your fruits are bearing. And I yield.
No, that's facts. That's a good way of looking at that, right? So, but yeah, like the fruits that these people are bearing as far as themselves, not fruit that they're bringing into the truth or whatever, but the fruits of their own labors and stuff, right? That's the stuff that they're basically displaying. Their fruit is spoiled because they're not continuing to do the things they was doing when it was clearly right with everybody else. When they was amongst, like how they say, what's that saying they say about the fruit? One bad fruit spoiled a whole bunch or something like that. So, and you've seen it happen, right? You leave that bad banana around all the good ones, and they all spoil real fast, right?
Yeah.
You get that bad banana away, the other ones last a little bit longer. So it's the same concept, right? So yeah, good point. But 2nd Esdras 2:27, because that's actually going to kind of lead into this. The point of this verse here is to explain that us in the community, us in the camp, those of us that really decide to gather together and stay that way, there's going to be ways for us to get saved and not see hell. But it's going to involve us being gathered together during those times, right? Which is why I've always felt like maybe the last day comes during a feast like Tabernacles or something, right? We already prepared for the wilderness. Niggas already outside. Like, it's perfect. And we already in a community gathered amongst ourselves away from everybody else. They in their houses. Like, we won't even know what the hell going on if we having a good enough time in the woods, right? We disassociated from like technology that we're really supposed to be. We ain't gonna be watching the news, CNN to know everybody's at their house, evacuating and stuff. Right? We're gonna be by ourselves chilling. And this verse is about to explain that. Go ahead.
It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 2 and verse 27. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance.
Right? Other people are gonna be like, damn, what the hell going on? They're gonna be sad, mad, looking for us. We're gonna be somewhere ducked off, happy as hell, eating lamb chops and lamb grinds. No, I'm playing. I don't even know what those is. But I was gonna say pork chops and pork grinds for the Christians, but lamb chops and lamb grinds, but no, I don't know. I just made some stuff up. But so we might need to invest in that, y'all. We got a copy. I don't know. Esau might like those. We could take advantage. Just saying. But like, so 2nd Esdras is literally explaining we gonna not see hell, right? There's gonna be an instance where our people are happy and everybody else on the planet is going through something devastating, right? Why are we happy though? Because we're gathered in a place where all of us could be like we all could be that way, right? Am I saying it's gonna be everybody in the same place? No, I think it might be multiple places, but it's gonna be multiple of us there, kind of like it is for your tabernacles, right? So then the chariots don't got to go look for each individual person like it is in the Rapture of the Simpsons, right? One dude getting pulled out of his house, he's sleeping with his wife. Other dude getting pulled out of ballerina practice. Other dude getting pulled off a dunk he's doing in like at the LA Fitness. It ain't none of that gonna be happening like that. I don't believe, right? I think brothers gonna be gathered together, which is why the scriptures tell us to do that before the day passes the chaff, right? Before it's too late, get yourselves together. Have a plan of where you all are gonna go to what place you gonna meet up at when that time comes, right? If y'all leave the community, who you gonna meet up with? That sister that you FaceTime with? You a sister, she a sister. How y'all gonna protect yourself? Y'all just gonna be in the car screaming. Like, y'all ain't gonna know what to do. You left the community though.
Right.
Keep going. Read the verse 31.
It's the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 2 and verse 28. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith Yahweh. My hands shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell. Be joyful, O thou mother, with thy children, for I will deliver thee, saith Yahweh. Remember thy children that sleep, for I shall bring them out of the sides of the earth, and show mercy unto them. For I am merciful, saith Yahweh.
See that? I don't think that happens with all of us being in different places, like all of us separate. Antonio chilling with little Antonio. They at the house watching the Knicks game. Knock is at the house with his kids, eating chicken. He's just destroying the whole bone and with the peas and the rice and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm at home, relaxing. All of us get picked up doing like different stuff. We all doing different things. We just by ourselves. You think everybody gonna be in that situation? Does that even make sense to you? If that's the case, why are we commanded to gather together so much? Right? Give me Revelations 20 and 9. Let's go to the last book and see what it says. Just read verses 9 to 10.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter. That's not good. The book of Revelation, chapter 20.
I done ripped the Bible.
I got another one on the way.
Yeah.
The book of Revelation, chapter 20, in verse 9. And it reads, and they went up on the breadth of the earth. And Salaki?
No, my bad. I was stretching.
Oh. Verse 9. And they went up on the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about, and the beloved city. And fire came down from God out of heaven and devoured them. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Hold on, Tucker. Watch out, buddy. I ain't done yet. So, my bad. But yeah, so Revelation, right? As you see, right there in verse, my dog is messing my mic up and stuff. I had to make sure I get it fit. But as you see there, right? They're gonna compass the saints round about the camp of the saints, right? And then everybody else that's not in that camp get devoured by a lake, right? How do you expect to get the same salvation if you're outside the camp or community?
Right.
You can hope for it, but you got a much better guarantee if you stick with the bunch as opposed to leaving, right? Ain't that what Matthew 18 is about? Y'all remember the parable of the sheep? Matthew 18? The sheep, like one sheep gets lost, Christ goes, if one sheep leaves, it's better to leave the bunch and go get that one sheep and bring it back to the flock. Because you want everybody to stick together. You want everybody with the group, because that's how the shepherd's going to herd us. Sheep don't get herded individually. When the sheep leaves the herd, that sheep gets eaten by a wolf, right? That's how it works. Or a coyote or something. It died. Sheeps get herded together. Matthew 18 is about when the sheep leave, you got to go get that sheep and bring it back. If the sheep decide to stay away, the sheep gonna die on its own. That's what the parable about. Right? If a brother do something to you and you can't reconcile with them, and you gotta make them one of them sheep that gets left alone on the mountain, that's what has to happen. But you're supposed to try to reconcile first, so that sheep could come back. Right? That's how it works. If that sheep gets excommunicated, it is not something that, like, hey, you ain't in no Judas situation. You need to try to get yourself with another body, because that's what's going to put you in a situation where it's going to guarantee you safety. Right? You have a more better chance of being safe with them brothers than you do by yourself. Just like a sheep. We are sheep to the Most High and his son. Wolves to the heathen, but sheep to the sun. Right? How about that? You had to you was about to say something, Antonio? Go ahead.
Nah.
You
Well, I
sure?
had a precept earlier for the second Ezra's, but we good.
You sure? We still on that point? I could reiterate it. You could bring it out if you want.
No, go ahead. You good.
All right. Well, I mean, we ain't really even got to go too much more into this. I had a bunch of precepts, but it really ain't needed, because I feel like that breaks the point down, right? Like Matthew 18. That's the whole concept of that, right? If you leave, it's going to be harder to save you. I'm not saying he can't, right? There's instances like Isaiah 43:6, Isaiah 49:22, where the heathen going to be dragging some of y'all back on their shoulders in them times, right? Not literally, but smaller numbers of y'all, right? But before that, there's a remnant that gets picked up. Isaiah 11, right? So that remnant, best believe, they're not all scattered by themselves doing their own thing. They're going to be together. Just like the people that was picked up in America going to be together. So that's the concept, man. If you leave, it's going to be harder to save you. Reason why is because we were commanded to come together. And like I said, we know that the Most High not dealing with a lot of y'all once you leave, because you stop keeping the feast days. You're commanded to do holy convocations. And a lot of y'all leave. As much as it, or as many of y'all as it is that hate camps, for some reason, y'all haven't started an I hate camps camp for y'all to get together and still keep the feast days the way y'all used to.
Right.
Y'all ain't started a camp called IHC. Right? I hate camps. IHCC. The I hate camps camp. Right? I just gave y'all a name. All you need now is a signet and a motto. Right? Screw all the camps, we the real one. Right? IACC. You ain't saying nothing different than the mother brother. But look, it's like we have to understand that our people, for one, always kept the Saturday Sabbath. And for two, right? We need to be in a community. We need to be in a camp. Right? Am I saying biblically you have to be in a camp to be saved? No, I didn't say that. So don't put those words in my mouth. I'm saying you're more likely to be saved in a group or a camp, because the Bible literally tells us that. When Moses saved us out of Egypt and we went and left in Exodus, did we leave by ourselves or did we leave in a camp? Were we not that same camp that left Egypt when he called us the camp that he's walking in the midst of in Deuteronomy 23:14?
God.
Is it not this same type of camp that he's going to be saving in Revelation chapter 20 from the nations that are going to encamp around us or encompass us roundabout? I mean, so these are the things y'all got to think about, right? And that's why you should put breaking doctrine to mind too, because it all has to make sense. And a lot of y'all are capable of making it make sense. Stop listening to people that don't make sense. That's what's going to make it easier for you. So with that, I yield. That's it. Hope y'all enjoyed the lesson. And again, it's no hard feelings to nobody, right? It wasn't to get on anyone. It's not to call on a debate or none of that crap. Because again, we already had one of those. We know how that went. So I honestly don't care to do it again. I have my beliefs. Y'all have your beliefs. But don't call me an idolater because I can prove why I keep the Sabbath. And it's not because of the reasons you said. Has nothing to do with heathen worship. Has nothing to do with Saturday or Saturn. Right? So, I mean, if we're being honest, the definition I have always given to Saturday was Saturday. Sat. Right?
Mhm.
The past tense of sit, which is
Right.
what you do when you're resting. That's how I always broke it down, right? And then you got the Sabbaton, which is the Greek word before Saturn, right? Which is associated with Cronus, the name or the day that Saturn took the place of for the Romans, right? Us being people who made up the population of the Greeks since the time of the Dans, the Danans and the Dorians and the Mausians, 15 to 1100 BC, right? We were the Lacedaemonians, we were the Spartans, right? We were the Athenians. All these people, brothers teach we were. Man, this dog. Noise this nigga here, he got a bark. Good guard dog, I guess. But yeah, so that's the point though, right? We have to understand that for one, the history don't lie, right? Historians say that, you know, hey, it was the Saturday Sabbath. We showed you that. Philo and Josephus, right? And all them other guys that we showed. So, you know, just go with the proof. Make more make sense. But don't let brothers call you an idolater for things that they couldn't fully explain, right? So, yeah. You.
God. All praises for that. Hey, for those who have never really gone into this, I mean, I just the dealing with leaving the community, dealing with the Sabbaths. Hey, come back to these classes and watch them over again, right? That's why they're on YouTube. That's why they're on Facebook for you to grab and study and write down and remember and study again. I think that was some good meat that Cap gave, dealing with. Oh gosh, I will tell you something. I'm old school, so
I know, me too. But I had to do it for the kids.
I guess so.
I had to do it for the kids.
But that was a good catch, though. I get that's crazy. But anyway, no, giving all praises to the Most High. Hey, I want to reiterate bring out some announcements again earlier. Any brother who may want to do the work with Anointed House of Saints, putting your brick in with us to build this congregation, to bring out this word to our people, you can do so by sending us your interest in becoming a prospect through email at anointedhos@gmail.com. That's anointedhos@gmail.com. Also, real quick before we head out, because we said we are going to get you out a little early, I want to give a few shout outs to those coming in that came in after class started. I was trying to track names down as best I could. I'm going to give a shout out. Matter of fact, I got to give a mighty shout out to Captain Aharon. I don't want him to feel like he's not mighty enough. That's a mighty. As a matter of fact, let me say it over. I'm going to give a big hearty shout out to the spiritual mighty Captain Aharon. All right. But also let me give a shout out to Coach Sayar. Shalom to Magan Israel. Shalom to Zephaniah. Shalom to Tiara. Shalom to Sister Rose. Good to see you, Sister Rose. Shalom to Lance. Shalom to Soldier. Yaquab, North Carolina. Let's see who else popped in. Shalom to Liv. That's Liv. Shalom to Sister L. Shalom to, that may be all that I've seen. Luis Dones or Dones. And I believe that's it.
Luis Dones.
Yeah, is that the brother that always comes on?
Usually, yeah, he been on before.
Okay, Con. That's what I thought I recognized. Con, all praises for that. Again, just to reiterate from earlier, We will be having feast days coming up continually. I'm going to throw this calendar up one more time before we end class, so everybody, those who came in late, will get a chance to see what AHOS has going on. This is our 20 Feast Day and New Moon calendar 2024. We have our next new moon coming up. Our new moon will be coming up on November 1st. That'll be November 1st will be our next new moon. Anyone who would like to attend, we'll be gathering for the new moon. Some of our soldiers and sisters and officers and captains will be joining and gathering in North Carolina and Greensboro at the AHOS school in Greensboro. That will be November 1st. Those who are wanting to attend, please send an RSVP through email. That's anointedhos@gmail.com to let us know that you would be attending that feast day or that new moon, Salakia. Also, we have coming up also our Feast of Dead. Well, before that, this coming up Shabbat, Captain Aharon will be in North Carolina. He will be actually teaching class live from the school for Sabbath morning brew. After class, we'll be having putting in some community service work in the Greensboro community. Anyone or any of those who would love to participate, please let us know through email. That's anointedhos@gmail.com. Also, those who may want to donate, right, and give us alms, you can do so by sending those alms to $AHOS school. That's $AHOS school. And also dedication, Feast of Dedication will be taking place December 26th in North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina. There will be RSVP for that occasion also. So anyone wanting to attend, please send RSVP through email AHOS or anointedhos@gmail.com. And I believe that's a $50. Let me check real quick. I believe that's a $50 alm to send. Is that what it was? I believe so. 50. If you want to give a donation or alm of $50 and RSVP for Feast of Dedication, please do so through email. That's December 26th in Greensboro, North Carolina. All right, so let me see something here. It looks like Soldier Antonio, get me did we get Colossians 2? Did that come out? I think Boaz just sent me something. Let me see what he's saying. All right, yeah, let's get Colossians chapter 2 and start at verse 16. Read 16 and 17.
It's the book of Colossians chapter 2 and verse 16. Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink, or in respect of an holy day, or of the new moon, or of the Sabbath days, which are a shadow of things to come, but the body is of Christ.
Con. So, what we're doing is we are going to rehearse the righteous acts, right? We are going to keep these holy days. We're going to keep these new moons. We're going to keep these Sabbath days, right? According as how we see the scriptures. We're not going to worry about what other people, whether it's the lunar, whether it's the day, the night. AHOS, we teach it how we teach it as the scriptures say. And we're not going to judge, and we're not going to be judged by that. The Most High is going to show us everything. When Christ returns, he's going to put things back in order. So that's how we look at that. So with that, we want to get Daniel 7:18, and then we're going to go ahead and get on out of here. We're going to bring that out, Daniel 7:18. Yeah. All praises.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever.
Khan. By Hashem, Hamashiach Yahawashai. With that, want to thank everyone again for being with us on Milk Mondays. Of course, you can always stay in touch with AHOS throughout the week. We have our classes going through the week. We have our Thursday night Torah portion with Captain Jonathan. He also brings up other classes as they come along and as he see fit. Then we have our Friday night prayer call, Friday night Zoom call with our congregation. Then, of course, this Shabbat, Captain Aharon will be with Saturday Morning Brew. That will be taking place live in North Carolina. I'm sure that'll be showing live on Facebook and also on YouTube. I don't have anything else that I can think of to say. So with that, I'm going to say shalom. This is Officer Knock with
we got the aristocrat.
Soldier Antonio.
We are Anointed House of Saints. And until next time, family, shalom.
Shalom.
And it doesn't want to go off.
This is not a test.
Black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music, 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 black music, black music, black music, black music.